Alright, good day guys, welcome to another vlog. It's gonna be a pretty awesome day today. Just to start it off with, we have another car, something pretty interesting. First impression, not sure. I think it's still a kind of car that maybe I should leave to the athletes and rappers of the world, because it seems like that's the first thing they ever buy when they get rich and famous. Alright, this is the 2017 Bentley Continental GT V8S. Now we all know that Bentley has their W12 V12 versions that everyone knows about, especially the Conti GTs. But the thing is, this is not like any other Continental GT you may know, because this is the V8S. Now that's different from the standard V8. The S meaning that it has a lowered suspension, bigger brakes, a tuned steering wheel for a better driver's car feel, and it just sounds amazing. So, have this for a few hours. Let's hop in and see what it's all about. Alright, so now we're inside the car. Wow, I'm driving a Bentley. Never really expect myself to drive a Bentley, kind of ever really. It's never really been a car that I've always wanted or see myself wanting. It's just one of those cars that's just like, yeah, it's luxury, it's amazing, it's powerful, and then it just stops there. It's always been, the Bentley's always been for me as seen as like a big lounge chair with like wheels. And then that's about it. It's not an envy of all kind of young boys, I guess. It hasn't disappointed in that kind of side. It is definitely still pretty damn luxurious and plush. I mean, the design and attention to detail to this car is just next level to all the other stuff that I've been driving. Now this is the V8S edition, not the V8. And as I said, there's a few changes to that V8S. Things like a tuned steering wheel to make it more kind of driver specific, which I do kind of a little bit feel. You get the lower suspension, which you see, and it looks amazing. The car just looks just right, and you wouldn't change a thing. And then you get the aero kits around the car, and I think the big change for me is the aero kits. These little kind of like front aero, rear aero, and like the side splitter and everything like that makes the V8 look rather ordinary. It makes a Continental GT without these kits look a bit, What a shape this car actually has. Wow. I still think this is the image you get when you think about a GT car, a grand touring car. This is the kind of image that you get, this lumptuous body that's so much curves and so much waves, very wide, really big, but still has that kind of long front bonnet with a short back. I don't know, the silhouette of this car is just amazing. Seeing this car from the front, it just has so much presence. It being black specifically in this one, the more I look at it, it's like, the more I think black is the right color for this car. Okay, so let's talk about the engine. This is a 521 horsepower coming from a 4-liter V8 twin turbo. This is the same V8 you get in the RS6 and the RS7 model in the Audi, but it just sounds a lot better to me. And it kind of contradicts what a 4-liter V8 may sound like, especially with two turbos. This thing is so angry. This guy's got some serious kind of tough guy issues, because the minute you put the foot down and you want that exhaust to come out, it comes alive, and it comes alive beautifully. I love the V8 rumble that you get from this car. It sounds like no other. And that's all that sounds from the inside. Imagine how it sounds from the outside. Now this car acoustic is crazy because it's got a double ply window, double glazed window, what do you want to call it. So it's very quiet inside, but outside. There's just something how Bentley deals or defines performance. You take the biggest engine, the most powerful or the best sounding engine, you put it into the plushest and the most comfortable car you can ever make and design. And what you get is more of an artwork rather than a car. Now, you never see a Bentley as a supercar, but you sure know that it can compete with one. With the weight being well like a boat, this car isn't that fast at all. Well, not as fast as you'd think coming from a V8 twin turbo. It's 0-100 in 4.2 seconds. And I mean, that's a bit of a shame, but at the same time, this car wasn't really made for a sports or a performance car. It wasn't made for a supercar. It's made as a grand touring car, and I think they've done that quite well. They've achieved their goal quite well. You still feel that power, no doubt. You still feel the 521 horsepower. How you feel that power is a little bit different. It's not a big kind of jolt that you get to begin with the RS6 and RS7. You don't get that massive amount of torque that wants to kind of kill you. What you get is a really progressive kind of car. It's very, very, very smooth going all the way up. And it's nice because it lets you hear that sound progressively. And it also just makes the car really comfortable. Yes, it does still feel a bit boaty. You still feel the weight of the car, but not as much as you think. I mean, this is a 2-ton car, and I mean, with the RS6, I felt the weight. As I was turning, I felt that weight through the corners, and that was a performance wagon. And no doubt that car is a lot faster than this car in any track, and it's probably handles a lot nicer, but we're talking about the feeling. I don't feel as much weight in this car. It's actually quite nice. The front isn't kind of lounging around with that big engine. It feels rather a bit balanced in the middle. The steering wheel is quite light, and I think that's because it's an electronic steering wheel, but again, the car happily dances around corner as you want it to. It'll dance with you. It'll follow to what you want it to do without you feeling needing to kind of wrestle with the car or wrestle with the steering wheel. Makes it really interesting because now this is a GT car that drives quite nice as a driver's car. Before driving this car, my expectations of a Bentley was, well, it does what a Bentley does. It's punishingly quick, but a little bit dull, a little bit too comfortable, a little bit too normal. But this car has somewhat proven itself to be, well, quite un-Bentley in my mind. I mean, it's still kind of soft, it's still plush, it's still comfortable, it's still very silent and a very GT-like car. But the words dull and normal is definitely not something that you'll describe it with. Which is really interesting because it makes me think twice about this car, or it makes me kind of think that I might want this car now. Is it still a big GT tourer with a big, crazy, nice sounding engine? Or is it now like a sports car equipped with a GT upholstery? I'm super happy that I got to experience a Bentley. So thanks to, again, Lowdown and Trivet Bespoke for continuing this consecutive weeks of ridiculously amazing cars for me to drive in. This model specifically has got me maybe one day wanting a Bentley. A car that I can drive comfortably around town with and around cross country. But at the same time, I don't think I'll be missing that much fun from a sports car. Alright guys, see you next time at the next vlog.
The key. But seriously,
What the hell, Bentley? Hey guys, hope you guys had a good Christmas. As it's closing to the end of the year, this is probably the last vlog of 2017. So I just want to say thank you to everyone this year who have followed, watched, viewed, commented, subscribed. Everything for 2017 has been awesome, and hope to do more in the next year. But yeah, so bye for now, and I will see you guys in the new year.